folks. Just flying to Winnipeg. So it's gonna take about 2 hours flight. I already checked in. The bag is already gone. So I'm just right now going to check through security. So now I'm just going inside the flight now. They said I got a beautiful smile, so they don't know why I am actually hiding.
Oh, you're so lucky.
Yeah, so just looking for seats.
I don't know about that. I'm feeling tall. Let me tell you. Watch it.
Here we go. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Presenting Canada to the World. And today we are here at a small town in Manitoba called Taché, and we are actually in the middle or the center of Canada. And as you look at the sign, it says 96 degrees to 48 by 35. No matter where you go, this is the center from south to north to west to east. This is the center of Canada, and we're bringing you live action from Manitoba. We left Ontario, and it's about 2 hours plane ride to Manitoba, and the capital Winnipeg is about 30 minutes away from this location that we are standing. So in case if you're in the area or wherever you are in the world, if you want to see the center of Canada, then definitely you have to come to Manitoba, and precisely in a small town called Taché. So I hope you enjoyed this episode as we bring you live from Manitoba, small town Taché, and good luck. We'll bring you more videos later on. Hello everyone, and once again welcome to Presenting Canada to the World. We are here at the One Great City Brewing. Man, this is the place where they brew all this famous beer in Manitoba, specifically in the Winnipeg. And when you go inside, you're gonna see jars of big containers brewing all this beer. So we are here. It's a restaurant, and it's a very nice popular spot in Winnipeg, Canada. So if you are in the area or if you are around, make sure you check this restaurant. And this is around the area, the entire view, and you can see that it's in a very famous district. So just encouraging you, if you are in the area, make sure you check out this beautiful One Great City Brewing Company. Thank you. It's your boy KB, Presenting Canada to the World, and one more episode. Thank you and enjoy. So we arrived at Winnipeg on a heavy rain, and pretty much this is the buses in Winnipeg. And right now the buses are traveling, and most of the traveling, it took place in the car. And because we are in a car having a private conversation, I think I have to mute this and do a talk over. But Winnipeg, as I've mentioned, is the capital of Manitoba, and I myself have been here before, but when I came here, I didn't really spend much time here. It was mostly through the Greyhound, so we stopped by the Fork, and the Fork is one of the major areas in Winnipeg, and this is where you have the Red Lake right opposite the Fork. But Winnipeg is a really major city, and as you can see, you see a lot of government buildings and apartment buildings. It kind of more like exceeded my expectations, because when I was going, even though, as I said, I've been there before, but I've been to a very small portion of Winnipeg. There was major construction going on, a lot of government buildings, a lot of apartment, lots of people on the way, a lot of great restaurants. You see Starbucks, a lot of people moving in and out of the city, and you can see that there's a lot of vintage buildings as well. And the way the city is designed is, depending where you are, some of the roads are designed in a French way or the British way. And I was being explained to that if it's a British way, there's a way the traffic signs looks like, and if it's a French area, there's also a way the traffic light looks like. So this is a typical government building. As you can see, this is like driving in Paris, Europe. You can see this building vintage, and you can see the roads are pretty good. But because of the rain, there was a lot of sand within the areas where we were walking about, and we were driving on our way to Kenora. This is a typical church in Winnipeg. massive building, and all these are employment buildings, and these are all additional vintage buildings as you see. So we traveled 2.5 hours away to a small town where it's called Kenora, which is on the Ontario side. And what is interesting is that even though you want to go to Ontario, a town in Ontario, you still have to go take the flight, drop off at Winnipeg, which is on another province in Manitoba, and then take the plane all the way, or like drive all the way to Kenora. And that's exactly what we did for this particular trip. So as we're going along, we're mostly sitting in the car and doing the video, showcasing to you different areas in Winnipeg. And it's quite a bit of an old city, as you can tell from the video, a lot of vintage buildings. And this is mostly the downtown core and then the area surrounding it. And when it rains, there's quite a bit of sand on the ground. We actually stopped by a restaurant, an Indian restaurant, where we had a very good lunch. And when we were returning back to Toronto, we also went to the brewery company, which I did a look at this beautiful apartment units, as you can see. So as I was saying, when we're coming back, we had a very nice dinner also at a very famous burger place in Winnipeg. So this building, as you can see, another office building. And throughout downtown Winnipeg and across, there's a lot of industries across everywhere that you go by. It's a mixture of vintage building, mixture of government building. We see McDonald's on the right side, and also we see KFC, Taco Bell. So it's very industrialized area, but it's a combination of government buildings and also other areas as well. Winnipeg is actually a very nice city, and as I was saying, I was thinking that was a very small town the size of London or Oshawa, but it really exceeded my expectations, and there was a lot of good takeaways from there. The people are very friendly, the people are very nice and kind, and everywhere you go, it was just a massive influence of people. Yeah, with all the major attractions and the major places that we saw, I think my biggest takeaway was the airport. I don't think I estimated, or maybe I underestimated Winnipeg. But when we touched down and we started to check out, I was quite amazed. And the airport, another similar airport that I can compare it to, is the Heathrow Airport in UK, London. And it was quite massive, and it was so cleaned. And I was quite taken aback with the notion that it was a small airport, it's a small town, but I was so blown away. And also another takeaway that I did was when we went to Tashi. This is a small town in Winnipeg, about 30 minutes away from the downtown core. And it was interesting to find that this is actually the center of entire Canada. So if you go south, west, east, north, this tiny place in Tashi, Manitoba, is actually the center of Canada, and we took a great pictures of it, as you see at the beginning of the video. I really enjoyed my time in Winnipeg and also Kenora. We had a very nice lunches and dinners. We went to the top 10 Greek restaurant in Ontario, which is the Plaza restaurant. Shout out to the Plaza restaurant in Kenora. We also went to, there was another one called the Boat House, which is more of like my initial name, Boateng. And we also had a very good dinner over there in Kenora. So overall, I think the trip was quite a bit of a success trip. It was less hustle. We checked in quickly. There was no anything. And here, this bridge that you see is one of the most famous bridges in Winnipeg. And in wintertime, it's quite challenging people driving on it. But this is the bridge that we also took. I couldn't give you the whole view, but it's a very nice tourist destination area. So as we move along, we visited some places as well. We stayed at the Holiday, or I would say the Comfort Inn in Kenora. And it was also really welcome place. And as we're still driving through Winnipeg, you could still continue to see there's a lot of government buildings and office buildings. and it's a massive area. This building in particular here, as you can see, I believe they told me it was almost like the Union Station, the size of the Union Station. This building that is coming up here, I think that's what I was told. And there's a lot of vintage buildings, and sometimes it reminds me of like I'm in Europe, depending which area that you are. Yeah, this is the Via Rain. The train is actually goes here, so this is equivalent to Union Station in Toronto, Canada, and this is in Winnipeg. And you can see this bus is passing by, but it kind of resembles Union Station in a way. But as the car keeps moving around, this is also another area where believe we came for the burger, and opposite there was a Indian restaurant, and this is actually the famous One Great City Brewing, and I just passed it. So yeah, this is giving you a glimpse of Winnipeg, and in case if you are moving there or you want to move there, it just gives you an idea where the area looks like. There's a lot of plain lands as you're gonna see as you drive. You can drive for miles, hours, and all you see is just a plain field with nothing on it. Very flat land.